A Lansing woman is the oldest person in Michigan and a survivor in more ways than one. Most notably, she survived the deadliest school massacre in U.S. history. Irene Dunham turned 113 on December 16th, a birthday she shares with her 75-year-old son, Bruce. When the 1927 Bath School Massacre happened, she was a senior in high school. Because she had stayed home with a sore throat, she was not at school that day. This did not spare her entirely, however. I want to warn you that some of the details she recounts are disturbing.
She was at home with her mother, and they heard the explosion, and they jumped in the car and they drove into town and to see what it was about. And that's when they saw the school explosion and the carnage and all that.
And I remember was all the little kids that were killed.
And she talks about seeing body parts hanging from the telephone lines and dead children and their mothers kneeling over them crying and stuff like that.
That was terrible.
Irene also said she knew Andrew Kehoe, the former treasurer of the Bath Township School Board who detonated the bombs that killed 38 children.
Yeah, I know him.
He was on the school board?
Yeah, school board he was on.
Did he ever talk to you?
Yeah, he talked to all of us girls like we were okay.
Yeah.
Just before he did what he did.
Irene recalls when Kehoe drove up to the school about 30 minutes after the bombs detonated, to then detonate his truck, killing himself, the superintendent, and others.
We had a principal we loved of the school, and he was walking down to see what this hike was up to, and just as he got to the car, this guy turned the switch on and blew the poor hike and of course the car and everything, and part of the car was on the wire above, part of him with it. It was hard to have to look at, and Mom and I we saw that when we drove down to school to see what was happening.
Irene has survived a lot in 113 years. When she was 90, she was diagnosed with colon cancer and survived both surgery and chemotherapy. On her 113th birthday, her senior assisted living home celebrated with her family outside her window. She was recently vaccinated for COVID-19, the second pandemic she has seen in her lifetime. She attributes her long life to her time spent outdoors, something she's always loved and is looking forward to again this spring. For Fox 47 News in your neighborhood of Bath Township, Lauren Shields.